Leslie and Ron were like opposites.
Yeah.
And still are, but yeah, they were, at first we were really showing like kind of the two sides of government work. And when you start a show, you have to kind of, I'm talking too much, but when you start a show, you have to kind of just broad stroke it a bit to be like, this is a show about these kinds of people. And Ron and Leslie were a good, I think, very like Mary and Lou Grant kind of relationship.
There's an old adage that, which I don't think is really true, but the adage is that when people want a dad, they vote Republican, and when they want a mom, they vote Democrat. And like Republicans are kind of like stern and tough and, you know, personal responsibility and war and stuff like that. And Democrats are like, you know, poor people should have food, you know, stuff like that. And, sort of the way it is. And so at the beginning, the kind of like main conception of the show was that there would be a dad and a mom in the office but the idea was like a loving dad, a stern but loving dad, and a very loving mom, and that they were not romantic options for each other. We took that off the table like very early.
Although I will say every year, Nick and I do a scene where, just for the gag reel where Leslie and Ron make out.
Yeah. And we never put it on the gag reel because it's super disturbing.
Our episodes are all about real estate. It's like 21 and a half minutes. If for a comedy is not a lot of time, especially when we have telling not only an A story, not only a B story, but oftentimes a C story. So there's like a lot of story to be told in 21 and a half minutes, which means you have to get in and out quickly with your jokes. So if you get a chunk of dialogue that's like got a few jokes in it, you know that by the end, by the time there'll be like a 35-minute producer's cut that's awesome and has all those jokes in it, but to make the 21-minute episode, they have to cut a lot of this stuff. So like, that's why you see sometimes those talking heads or these bits that are kind of jump cutty.